Hello students, today we'll be discussing the 1960s Chicano movement. So what was the Chicano movement exactly? It was a civil rights movement aimed at empowering Mexican Americans in the United States. At a time when racism and discrimination were still very prevalent, this movement came with the hopes of having them being treated as equals, just like in the civil rights movement. And the civil rights movement was actually the inspiration of this one. So just like the civil rights movement, the Chicano movement also had its key figures. We have Cesar Chavez, who was an activist in agriculture and farm work, Reyes Lopez Tijerena, who fought for land grants, and Rodolfo Gonzalez, who defined the meaning of Chicano through the poems that he wrote, such as a poem called I Am Joaquin. This movement was centered around fighting for equality for the Mexican American people. As stated before, there was still much discrimination against this group in the 1960s. With the arrival of the civil rights movement, the Chicano movement sprung and came with 4 goals. So the first one was for the government to honor the Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo. So this treaty basically stated that after the Spanish-American War, that the U.S. would get a lot of land from Mexico because they lost. And what Mexican Americans here wanted was for the government to make space so that the people could settle into these lands without any type of discrimination. The second was better treatment in the fields. And this was during the 1960s. There was the Bracero program, which allowed for a lot of Mexican workers to go and work in U.S. fields, but there was a lot of unfair treatment and little to no pay for these people, so they wanted better treatment in the fields. The third one was for equal treatment in schools. So just like stated before, there was a lot of discrimination of these people, and this was very prevalent in the school system. There were times where teachers wouldn't accept these students or wouldn't want to teach these students because they were seen as beneath the white students. So people here wanted better treatment in schools. And lastly, they wanted political power. They wanted their position to mean something, to make it known that they were there and they wanted to be taken accounted for. So, learning about this, your task now is to go on the Smithsonian Learning Lab and find Chicano movement leaders with your partner. You're going to find one that you don't know much about, and then create a slide on Google Slides with your partner about this person and what made them important in the movement. Alright, good luck!